Hi everyone, welcome to part 2, Mastery Check Routines. So you're going to write in for your notes. Anything in red is sort of a fill in the blank, so I want you just to know that as we move on and talk about Mastery Check Routines. Whoops. Okay, so what is the purpose of Mastery Checks? Why do we do them? It's to show that you understand the lesson. So you want to write in there understanding, and that's the big deal. Now, how do you take these mastery checks to prove that you understood it? Well, you're always going to take them on your own. There's no partner. There's a couple of different types. There's a quiz type, and for that type, you cannot use your notes. And then sometimes we do a mini project where you can use your notes packet. And then you do need to earn a level 4 or higher to move on. So I actually want you to, in your notes, underline the word required and circle that number 4 because you need a 4 or higher. If you don't get that, you must revise. So again, in the blanks, put that you must revise if you don't earn that level 4 or higher. So you're just going to write in must revise. Okay, so there's a couple of options for taking a mastery check. The first option is on the target due date. So in the fill in the blank on this one, I want you to take on the target due date. So just write in that word target in the blank. You're going to need a couple of things. So first of all, you need to make sure that your work is checked in before taking a mastery check. So either myself or if there's another teacher will give you a stamp or a sticker on the last page of your notes to show that you've checked it in. And that way we know that you've done the work and you understand what you need to understand before getting to the mastery check. Now, the morning of the mastery check, what you're going to do first is complete your do now, like always. So that's always the first routine. Then you're going to get a red folder. So if you look in this picture, the red folder, it says Mastery Check. It's up by that supply shelf, kind of to the right of the Promethean board. You just grab a red folder and put it at your seat to show that you're taking the Mastery Check. So make sure you write the words red folder in the fill in the blanks. Then you have to put away all of your notes. You are not allowed to use notes, like I said earlier, on a quiz type mastery check. And then you wait for the teacher to start your mastery check. So write in the words the teacher. Either way, you're going to have to wait for either if there's a paper that needs to be passed out, you wait for that, or if it's going to be on Schoology, there's going to be a code that you need to hear. So you'll wait for that. And then everybody kind of takes it at the same time, but you might finish. So when you're finished, if you finish earlier than someone else, that's fine. As soon as you're done, you go back up, return your folder, your red folder, and then submit your paper mastery check. If it's a paper one, you put it in this white basket. If not, then you just submit it in Schoology. So that's the first option. Now, let's say you are not ready for your mastery check. You're moving on to the next lesson. So let's look and see if you're not ready for the mastery check on the target due date. And I'm not sure why I'm not moving. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if you're not ready for the mastery check on the target due date, the second option is take it after the target due date. So just fill in the word after. Now, the thing that you need to make sure to do is check in again your lesson packet with your teacher. So that always has to be checked in. We have to make sure that you understand it. We have to make sure that the work was done correctly so you get that feedback so you know if you're getting it right or wrong. Now, the difference is you're going to not take it with everybody else at the same time. So you might be taking it in the middle of class or at the end of class. You're going to have to approach the teacher and say, hey, I'm done. Show them your packet. Show me your packet. And then you're still going to do the same routine, grabbing a red folder. So that red folder over here by the Promethean board, but where you sit might be different. There is a small table near the teacher's desk right next to it, and there's also a small table by the Promethean board. So you'll probably be sitting at one of those to take your mastery check. So then you just move on. You'll get the mastery check from the teacher at that point. When you're finished, again, you submit your work to that white basket if it's paper, or just submit it in Schoology. Put that mastery check folder back, and then after submitting, you can move on to the next lesson. So that's the second option. All right, now what happens if you don't earn a score that shows that you understood? How do you revise a mastery check? Well, there might be two situations. You must revise if you earn lower than a level 4 on any mastery check. So because these words are red, you're going to fill it in. A must revision is lower than a level 4. So a level 1, 2, or 3, you need to revise. And this is how it works. A level 4 is a basic understanding, and you need to show that type of understanding to move on. So that's why we require a level 4, because that shows that you at least have the basics. Now, what's going to happen is after you take the mastery check, there will be a message posted somewhere, either in the grade book, there might be an R up on the board, but there's some need to revise message that you're going to see. You'll need to meet with your teacher so that we can make sure that you understand the material. And then at that meeting, you're going to develop a plan to finish some work at home. So you do have homework if you get lower than a level 4 to help give you some extra practice, but not take away from what you're doing in class. So write in, develop a plan with work to finish at home. So it needs to be done at home. And then within the next day or two, you're going to submit the homework and then take the mastery check in class on the given due date. Okay, that's if you got lower than a 4. Okay, flip to the next page, and there's another way to revise a mastery check. You can revise, so put the word can, if you earn a level 4 or higher on a mastery check. Now, there's a few things that are different, so that means that you understand the material, but let's say you feel you could prove you understand it better. That's okay, but you have to do a couple of things. First of all, you have to fill out our red reassessment form, which is found in the bin next to the closets. It looks something like this. So you'll have to put in what lesson was it, what lesson title, what was the I can statement for that particular lesson, what was the original score, and what date was it taken on. And you have to be able to take it by that target due date. And you really need to think about, what do I need to improve on to show that I understand it at a deeper level? It's that deeper level that you need to be able to prove. And so there's a plan of a few things that you could do. You have to choose a couple of things, attach that to the reassessment form, and then submit it to me within 7 days. So again, you want to make sure that you've got a plan that will show how you've learned the material at that deeper level. You have to submit the plan to me within 7 days of your grade being posted. If you don't do that, you're out of luck. You also have to have taken the mastery check on the target date. When you reassess, it's not going to be the same quiz or project. The date will be determined by me. I'll give you a date, and you'll be taking it if you're reassessing with a level 4 or higher, either at seminar or during lunch. So we'll work those things out. But that's how it's different if it's you have to do it because I'm requiring it, or if you're choosing to do it because you want to prove that you've learned more. Special note, end of unit projects are not eligible for reassessment. The reason for that is because all of the mastery checks are working toward your final assessment. So you get a chance to revise those, and you should have all of the correct information for your project, so we don't reassess on big projects. Okay, finally, let's wrap it up. Jot down any questions you have about mastery checks or revisions. I want you to write at least one question that you need clarified, then come up, share it with your teacher, and then you can move on.